We have one question.
Did you miss me?
Hey, what's up, yo?
What's up? We're back again.
Back again. And this is the Halloween Horror Nights 25 video you guys have been waiting for. What's the logo?
Halloween Horror Nights 25. 25 years of mayhem was the original tagline for the event.
Oh, yeah. And that's probably why you guys were wondering why Jack the Clown ended the 24 video.
That was a good surprise.
Well, we have come to the point. As you can see from my shirts and his shirt and the main shirt and hat,
He's back.
Yeah, Jack the Clown
He is
is back since he made a one of his debuts anyway in 2007. Also made one I think in 2000, right?
His original debut was 2000.
Mhm.
He came back in 2006.
Yep.
With some of the icons. 2007. He came back again in his new carnival gig, and now we're back again with another
anniversary
another
year.
Another anniversary. This is the third anniversary of my times going.
Yep.
My third year, my third anniversary event.
Yeah.
For Halloween.
When you guys saw the 2007 video, a little bit down the road, I already posted it on the page there. But now, like you said, we're back again. Jack the Clown is your icon for this year.
Yay!
It is my favorite year of all time, to date anyway. We haven't gotten to our latest anniversary date. That will be
it'll be next.
That'll be next year.
Next year, yeah.
So we'll have another anniversary next year.
30 years.
Yeah. So maybe that might take the lead. I don't know. But for now, this is my year. So, it says for the event overview for Halloween Horror Nights 25, the legendary Jack the Clown makes his triumphant and twisted return to the present, the biggest and scariest Halloween Horror Nights ever. Select nights from September 18th through November 1st. Now in its 25th year at Universal Orlando Resort, the nation's premier Halloween event, puts you right into some of the most pulse-pounding moments in horror history. On the select nights from September 18th through November 1st, 2013, the streets of Universal Studios Florida theme park come alive with hordes of horrifying mutants, monsters, and maniacs. One of them being Jack the Clown.
Yep.
With 25 years of experience to draw from, nobody creates a more nightmarish Halloween event filled with truly original scares and authentic horror movie moments. You can explore terrifying haunted houses, make your way through multiple scare zones, as always. And this is where creatures lurk around every turn, enjoy outrageous live shows, which we had 2 this year, and experience many of the most park's exciting rides and attractions, because they let you ride the rides from the main
of course, that's like the best
event. Yeah, ride Rocket at night if you enjoy that. So yeah, that's pretty much the event overview. And now we're gonna turn to Luke over here for pricing and some milestones.
Alright, so first off, like you said before, the event opened on September 18th and ran all the way to November 1st.
Yes.
Again, more nights than ever before. A single night admission ticket back then was $101.99 plus tax, and that was gate entrance fee. So that, you can tell, we're still climbing. Rush of Fear, all nights for the first 3 weekends, $83.99 plus tax. There we go, we're still getting up there.
Yep.
Rush of Fear with HHN Express Pass, all nights for the first 3 weekends, $219 plus tax. So, yeah, it's amazing. Frequent Fear Pass, $94.99. Frequent Fear Plus Pass, $110.99. Frequent Fear Pass with Express option, $234.99.
And the big one.
The big one. Frequent Fear Plus with HHN Pass, $279. So the prices are rocketing up a little bit. This event was, again, it's my 3rd anniversary. I've been to Horror Nights 2006, which was 2016. And I went through Halloween Horror Nights 2010, 20 Years of Fear. But 25 Years of Mayhem, actually, like every other year, has broken a few milestones. This is the first year that we brought 9 houses. We won up one more. As Jack said, his carnival's bigger and better than ever before, so he brought more. Yep. We also have a return of an original icon, Jack the Clown. But not only is he the icon that returns, he also brings back some past icons that we know and love. Usher, director, storyteller, caretaker, who are all in their own zone, which was amazing.
And I just want to add, he may bring a icon that might be a future icon.
Yes. Also this year, we have what we call merged houses. The creative team decided to take 2 original houses, like, say, Psycho Scare from 2003 and Body Collectors from 2005, create a theme for them, and mash them together in one house.
I like it.
Another one that we did that was a mashup they took the idea of Run, the original Run in 2000 or 2001, can't remember which one it was, 2001, and they also took my first year, an original, Hellgate Prison, again, mashed it together, became a brand new house. So the mashup of themes was something that they wanted to do.
Yep.
And it actually worked out pretty good for those 2. Even more nights than ever before. Like I said, the event every year grows more and more. We have like 3, 4, 5, 6 new nights. So this one was the biggest event.
It ran to November.
This one also, we removed IP. This one, they had some issues with the rights for a specific house, so therefore it was changed last minute. It was supposed to be Scream. We were supposed to get the franchise of the movies, but something happened in between, and it ended up becoming the Purge. So I think this is a first year that I believe that they ever had issues with that.
Yep.
Oh, a new house location. Yes. This is the first time this location's been used. We actually take down Shrek Theater 2 and rip out all the seats, remove them, put them in storage, and we turn it into a house, which is actually a really interesting location. We've had a lot of good houses, and this is the first year that you will see that we've done this location. Also, Bill and Ted celebrate 25 years. Also, this was I believe this was a nod to Graveyard mashup. Even though the show is still running, it was based around the new show because they themed it like a cemetery, which was really cool. Homage to the past and presence of Horror Nights. Yes, every anniversary year they take the old technology, stuff that we've seen in the past, houses that we all fell in love with, as well as some new stuff, and just put it together, lock it into place. And so it's nice if it's your first time to Halloween Horror Nights, like you've never come before. If you want to start up on a good year, start up on an anniversary. If you love, like, do your research on the event and then follow through, and you'll be able to see some history.
And again, why have you not gone?
And the final one for this was a debut of something that we see now, but the location is different. This is the first year that they actually did a tribute store to the Halloween Horror Nights event. They took the merchandise that we're all wearing and stuff that you can buy, as well as past props, costumes, masks, anything from like past houses, past scare zones, whatever, and crammed it into one space with logos saying what house, what year, like just what house it was in, and the background music was Midnight Syndicate. They played some of their music, which was a big hit.
And with that note, I have a video for you guys for the merchandise that I want to show you guys, as well as view some merchandise that I have from the event.
Yep.
Here we have numero uno, number 1. This is like a you could get at the store. It's like a Jack. What do you want to say? Like a pop
Funko.
Like a pop Funko or something like that. This
was very popular.
This
They went
was
out.
never been opened, ever. And if you turn to the back, it'll have a description on it that says Jack Schmidt was a carnival performer who loved to entertain guests with his practical pranks and dark humor, but underneath the grease paint and clown nose, he held a hideously dark and sinister secret. Jack was a twisted murderer. Jack the Clown, the now infamous clown Prince of Pain, has made a history of creating chaos every Halloween with his special brand of mayhem and horror. So to give that description on the back, it's like a Funko Pop. It's like a collector's item, so it's pretty cool. They also had this. It did have like a necklace on it or something, but something happened to it. But I still kept the actual emblem. You could still put another necklace on it.
You broke it.
I broke it. It was just like a simple like rope necklace thing. I can literally buy another one if I want to. But it's pretty cool. It hanged like this. It was like this, and you could turn it on. So at night, you know, you had like this cool. Can't really see it right here. But yeah, it's like a what do I want to call it? It's like a night necklace that you walked around with in
really
the
cool.
haunted houses and stuff like that. But
well, a lot of times they made you turn them off in the house.
try to get a better. There you go.
Sometimes when you go through the house, they make you turn them off because it sheds out too much light. But when you're walking around the streets and everything like that,
this thing is so cool. Like it lights up and everything.
It also makes you an easy target.
Yeah.
Because they go after anybody who has bright, flashy things. So know if you have friends in zones, they'll go after you.
I like it because it makes it to where it looks like he's like saying like ha. The way they have the lights going down and making it smell.
3 different glass pieces in one, because you can see where the light goes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There's 3 plates of glass.
Yep.
Each one has a different like picture on it, and as that light turns on and changes, it makes it look really cool. This was the first year they came out with these, I believe.
Yeah, this was pretty cool. So I actually got one of these. You could buy these in the store. Alright. Turn that off so the battery don't die. Then these were the glasses that you could get with the actual alcohol, the beverages, I believe.
You can. Well, I mean, these you can get the mixed drinks.
Yeah, mixed drinks
in these. I think you can also get beer in these.
Yes, but they do like the light up cups usually every year. But this one has like a different function. That one was like a blinking one. This is like a solid light, and then it just turns off.
And they had different colors too. There was like the dark purple, which is the one that he has like a black light. There was orange, and then there's red.
Yeah.
And then as the years progress, you guys will see that they have different cups.
This was like one of the cups you could get for that. I collect, and it had the Coke can for when the Coke does promotions on there as well.
Promotions.
Yep. Thank you, Coke. And this doesn't really happen anymore, but Burger King used to do promotions for Halloween Horror Nights and stuff too.
They did it for years too.
And they no longer do it anymore. It's weird. We're on our 29th year, and they stopped it a long time ago. But
unless they watch them bring it back next year.
Yeah, but
they resurrect it from the dead.
I think the last year I had from the Burger King Cup was 26, if I believe. So
26, yeah.
You'll see another one of these cups in the next video for our HHN 26 video, but this is the 25 one.
Yep.
All right. So that's pretty much all I have for that, and then you also see this is the hat for the event that you guys could get.
And then of course we're wearing the shirts. There's 3 of them.
And as we say, since it's an anniversary year, it has the year on it that they started, 1991, all the way to 2015, which was that year anyway. And then you got Horror Nights on the side, Jack, and then it says all jacked up. So pretty cool. And then the main shirt over here, which we're viewing, is another one of the shirts.
Jack's icon shirt. The one I'm wearing on the front is all jacked up, but on the back it has every every house, and also they released a few extra shirts for the specific IP houses, like Insidious, Werewolf in London. So it was really cool.
We have a video I want to show you guys really quick, and then we'll get back to Luke with more of his stuff. Wait, you have any more stuff for him?
No, the last thing I forgot to add was we also are seeing a returning theme. In 2007, Jack brought his Carnival of Carnage in as a theme, which back then he had Freddy, Jason, Leatherface. This year he decided to take that same carnival and enlarge it with other crazy maniacs and everything like that, so we see a return of a specific show, a theme, or whatever.
Yeah.
And the only difference this year is he actually brought his own house, which was themed to the event, which we'll get into that later.
Mm-hmm.
But like he said, here's the video of the store.
Yep.
Fortunately, what you're going to see in this video, the store in its location is no longer there.
Yes.
Because Twister, where this location is, was turned into Jimmy Fallon, and the store over the next few years has moved over to the Mummy Q. But here's that clip of the store. Enjoy.
Alright, so there it was. That is like the merchandise store in Twister.
Rest in peace, Twister.
There's
It was a good show.
big location for a tribute store. Like,
it was very spread out, whereas the current store location, everything is closer together, but they made up for the space in the current version by doing not just one room in Mummy Q, they used 2 rooms. So let's hope and see what this year will bring us. I mean,
Yeah.
location.
When we get into the next future videos, y'all guys will see what we have now.
You'll see that the store has changed over the years.
Yeah. Now I got the picture for you from the Archway.
It's the entrance of Halloween Horror Nights 25.
Yep. And what you see when you first go in, and then when we come back, we'll get into some houses. So here it is. Alright, so that was the Archway when you very first entered Halloween Horror Nights 25. Very cool.
It's neat because this was also really cool because every year they do like a projection of something on the wall. And of course this looked like a circus tent, but it actually was detailed to the point where it had the tears in it where you can, if you look at the projection. And then they had, of course, the posters of the IPs that you were going to see, because I guess that's their tribute to the IPs.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you also notice in the photo, one of the IP, the red and yellow lights wasn't working that night. I think they were having technical problems with it. That photo was taken about 2 weeks or so into the run, and one of the light strings around one of them went out. And I remember that because I remember going in and out, and I'm like, are they going to fix this? And then all of a sudden, it came back. They got it working near the end of the event. So.
You get the concept.
Yeah. The music as you entered the Archway was crazy.
Yep.
Like, it was like emo, metal, rock, clown songs. But what was really cool is this is the first year that they actually implemented Jack's voice. So every time you would hear, sometimes throughout the song you hear, "I'm Jack, I'm back," or something like that. You hear him laugh or something like that. It's time to stop clowning around, or he read off like a whole script of lines, and they just placed them in parts, which was really, really cool. It played mostly around the areas of the park that did not have a scare zone.
He is horror.
Yes, you'll see that later.
And he really is, honestly.
He is. He was actually, little backstory on Jack, he was actually the first original icon of Halloween Horror Nights that the creative team created. But as far as the first official HHN icon, as far as not original, it would actually be the Crypt Keeper in 1994 and 95.
Yep.
But he was a licensed character, so they had to pay the license in order to use him. But Jack was created through the minds of Horror Nights, so they can use him. He was a created icon.
Ingenious idea.
Yep.
It's my favorite icon of all time. Alright, so we're going to get down to it. We got some houses to get through. We're going to basically read you guys about the house. We're going to show you some of the trailers
We're going to
for
tell
the
you
houses.
the locations of the houses, where they were.
Yes.
And then we'll talk about each one of them as we go through.
Only some houses have trailers, as always. Yeah.
Only the IPs, really.
Yeah,
the originals didn't really.
Yeah, they don't have anything.
Yeah.
So.
Except for
Let's get down to the houses that year. Your first house, all of our favorites.
Yep. Our favorite one.
Mine, Luke's, my girlfriend Kira. We all love this house. It was absolutely amazing. I don't see any original house that has topped it, to be honest.
No. Let's see if 30 can top it off.
We'll see. But Jack presents 25 years of monsters and mayhem. We're going to go ahead and show you the trailer, and then we will read about this house.
Here's the poster.
Alright, did I say trailer? I meant picture.
Nice going.
Sorry guys, that was a little bit of a tease. But yeah, 25 years of Monsters and Mayhem. I wish they would have done a trailer or video on it, because
that would have been cool.
Absolutely amazing.
I guess they wanted to keep it secret though, because they didn't want anybody knowing what was in it until you went through it.
True. So, the location for this house was Soundstage 21.
Which we haven't seen in the past few years. 21 hasn't been, it's been used as a location for makeup and...
Yeah, there's spider webs in there. Yeah. It says, about this house, relive the most terrifying moments of the past 25 years As Jack releases our catalog of creatures in one maze, you'll be attacked by Universal Classic monsters. Hint, hint. Possibly for this game. Meat grinding maniacs and the fiends of Horror Nights Past. Amazing.
Let's just say that a lot of people have gone through this house wondering, like, how many rooms are in this house, and there's a lot. Each room is specified to a specific past house or zone. Well, mostly the houses, really.
Yeah.
But I think I remember them all in the order. The first entry point when you go into the house was Jack's fun house, which he created himself.
Yep.
There was a second room where you went in with a bunch of rotting pumpkins that smelled like pumpkins. That was actually from the Hallow 2008.
I love that smell.
The next room after that was Scary Tales 2000 and I think it was 2008's version because it was Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You went in, of course. Bear became a very big hit that year. they all were chanting bear, 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 and he would jump out and stuff like that.
2008, the year of Bloody Mary.
The next room after that, you were walking on a tilted walkway in the middle of a sunken bridge on a ship. That was actually the Forsaken from 2011, the year of Lady Luck.
Yep.
After that, my favorite, it was not based off any of the original concepts from what I know, but it was actually a redo of the funeral parlor from Scream House. So you can't really date it because Scream House has been there since 2002 was its debut. It came back in 2003 when the director revisited it, and then 2006 was the resurrection of Cindy Kane, and she and the caretaker make their presence in the house. The next room after that was, believe it or not, I believe it was a piece from The Wyandotte Estate from 2010, the Legendary Truth. Walk down the hallway. There's a little fun Easter egg in this room. Jack's photo of him as the ringmaster was hung up on the wall on the back part of it.
I remember that.
The next room was a tight attic space. It was really tight. I think I overheard it was Dead End from 2012. It was a small little piece thing. After that, it was the classic monsters. They gave tribute to Dracula, Wolfman, because they had a Dracula sequence in the house. They had Frankenstein, Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, and also the usher made a small jump out.
Was Bride in there?
Bride was in the Dracula room. Yes, they were in the bedroom.
That's what I thought.
So after that sequence, that was the next room after that. It was Dracula. Then you go up onto one of my favorite houses from 2012, Gothic. It was a recreation of the scene walking across the catwalks,
Beautiful house.
looking down on the cathedral. However, the cathedral had a large tank coming through the wall, which led you into the next room, which was Nightingales from 2011. I almost forgot what year it was. 2011.
Yep.
After that, it was Havoc, Dogs of War. They made a little tribute with that one. The final room, or the second to final room, the Christmassy room. This one still messes with me because it's a mix of either Psycho Scarapy or HR Blood and Guts, which I'm not sure, but it also has a little bit of Leave It to Cleaver in it. So I don't know what to think. There's a small mini room before the final room, which actually paid tribute to bloody lipstick on the mirror reading Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, and somebody would jump up behind the mirror. Little Easter egg there. And the final room was a bunch of jacks standing around. They looked like mannequins, but you couldn't tell who was real and who was not.
I remember that, dude.
But as you thought the house was over, you walked out, come out the door. There's a bunch of Christmas stuff laying around, as well as Leave It to Cleaver stuff, and you got two surprise scares. You had one from Meaty Meats from Leave It to Cleaver, and I forget who the second one was. It was Eddie. Eddie was the second one that jumped out with the chainsaw. So you got Eddie and Meaty Meats from 2009.
They served you for over 25 years.
But it was a really, really cool house. It really felt like, for hardcore fans like us who've been to almost like, well, I've been to, this year will be my 15th year of Halloween.
I believe mine's
12 years.
12 or 13.
So we both pretty much have a good knowledge of
We have a
everything.
decade or more of knowledge.
Yeah. So this one really was like walking through, oh my god, that was from that, or oh, that prop was from that.
Yeah, man.
So it was really cool to see. It was my favorite original house of that year.
Hands down.
It was really, really, really cool. I think my follow-up would have been Body Collectors as my secondary favorite, which we will get into later.
Yes.
But overall, I give 25 years one of my best reviews. I have to say that one was my favorite. And each room played a music track from the past, like whatever was played in that house that year. So it really pitted you in that sequence.
Yep. All right, so we got the next house over here with Luke.
My favorite return, as we said in Horror Nights 23's video, this house might spring up again. Here we are, American Werewolf in London, and here is the poster.
Yes.
Remember, beware the moon.
All right.
And that was the poster for that, and we have a small surprise since it is an IP. We actually have a teaser trailer, so enjoy this one. That was the teaser. The location of this house was the same as the one in 23. It was in 22.
Sound stage 22.
Step into John Landis's landmark 1981 horror classic. From the attack of the English Moors to the bone-crunching transformation. It's some of the most popular houses in Horror Nights history. It is one of the most popular houses in Horror Nights history because the location of it was exactly the same as it was in 23. However, you entered from the original exit of 23 and exited through the original entrance of 23.
Yeah.
So a little fun little thing there. Not much really has changed. It was basically a copy of the 23 version. But I think they added two new wolves. They actually changed out the werewolf skins and actually got rights to use the ones from the movie. Whereas the original one, they had to make them up completely because they couldn't use them.
And it looked a lot better. They totally redid it.
Like some of the scenes were like there was some stuff that was not in the original one. The ending sequence walking through the town had a different ending because originally there was a little tribute to Doctor Who when they had the TARDIS telephone, where that wasn't in it because it was used for Bill and Ted this year. So a little bit, all the music and everything was the same as what it was in the original house. Like the walkthrough, everything was the same except for maybe a few new audio tracks here and there, a few new jump scares.
And then the wolves looked a lot more realistic.
Yeah. And then, but yeah, no, they added I think you actually saw more of, not David, who's his name? Who's the other guy? His friend.
I don't know.
I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Jack. You saw more of Jack jump out with his ripped up face from where the werewolf grabbed him and ripped him in half. So that was kind of cool because you only saw him maybe twice in the house. He was getting attacked in the original one, and then he makes an appearance in the theater. But this time there was actually 4 attacks from Jack. So they kind of added him more into the house. But overall, it was really good. It was weird seeing a house exactly like the original one come back. But like I said, the addition of some new characters, a few jump scares, 2 new wolves were added in, but the skins of the wolves were so much better in this one because they used the original the original ones from the movie. They actually had photos from the movie and stuff that John Landis provided them, and they actually rebuilt the skins for the robots that actually make them look more like the ones in the movie The Werewolf in London.
Yep.
But it's one of my favorite movies. Still is today. And I wouldn't mind seeing this one come back again sometime in the future. Maybe. I don't know.
Give it some time.
Yeah.
Give it some time. Alright. So, on to our next house. I thought American Werewolf, by the way, was pretty good. Actually, this time around and last time as well. Asylum in Wonderland 3D is your next house.
And here is the poster.
Yes. It's very cool. Alright, so that was your poster for Asylum in Wonderland 3D.
The name
this
says
one,
it all.
Yep, the name says it. Name does say it all. They give you, did they give you 3D glasses in this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
Or else it wouldn't be 3D.
Correct. I knew that. So they get the 3D glasses. It was a 3D maze. The location for this one was in the Shrek, as we explained to you
Shrek
earlier.
Theater 2.
Yep, Shrek Theater number 2. This is the very first maze they ever did in Shrek.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. And the bio for this one reads, follow the white rabbit through the looking glass into a murderous 3D wonderland. Is this world all in Alice's mind, or are the images we see real enough to kill us? So,
I mean, I remember the scare zone that they did in 2008. So this was another concept where they thought of an idea like, oh, what if Alice is losing it and they put her in an insane asylum because she claims that she went to some wonderland.
yep.
And then I guess they took the concept of this and ran with it and said, hey, it did good as its own, let's try it as a house. Which is really cool because they tried it vice versa. If one's been a house, they do it as its own.
Yep.
If it's been its own, they do a house.
Yes.
To see what both sides of the coin do. This house was really cool. The trippy part was the rotating tunnel because, like, it rarely gets me, depending on the images and how they do it. Like, sometimes I walk through and I don't even feel the disorient, but this one actually did throw me off. This one was trippy.
Yeah.
As well as next year's version, which we'll get into that next video.
I love the rotating things.
But
So cool.
they didn't use it last year.
Yeah, I know.
At all.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into that. There was a lot of black light. There was a lot of high fluorescent paint, things that blended into the walls to make it look like, oh, there's nobody there, and all of a sudden, it looks like, oh, okay, all right.
It was colorful.
It was very colorful. The music was outright wacky. They used
Yeah.
tracks from a game called Alice: The Madness Returns. It's an old computer game. It's kind of.
I think it came out also on PlayStation.
It did.
3?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did. It was a puzzle-solving game where, again, it follows the concept Alice is crazy, but it was a really, really, really cool house. The location, it fit very well. Like he said, it was the first time it was used in Shrek because I don't remember the reason why they did it. Oh no, I think it's just because they wanted to add one more house to it, and they thought, well, Shrek 2's theater, Shrek Theater 2 is barely used, only during the summertime.
Yeah.
Because during the off season, they only use season 1, or they only use theater 1.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the best way to go. Why not shut down one theater and turn it into a maze?
Yep.
I mean, even though they do it during the summertime, still though the lines get crazy. But
Yep. More content.
it was a really good house. The entrance and the exit were a little different than what you will hear about in the following years. The entrance was a little different. You entered through the side of Mel's bathrooms, Mel's diner bathrooms, well, die-in bathrooms, and you went up along the walkway in front of Shrek and went down to the entrance and around the back of Theater 2, and then when you exited, you came back out that same path. This caused, some nights when it was really busy, it was a real cluster of people trying to get through the crowd, so the following years, they moved the entrance of the house more towards the Hollywood street. So you come in from Hollywood and then exit out this way, which actually the new way works so much better. Because then you don't have the tight bottlenecks of people like trying, because I think this was a test for the first year, and then they see, okay, it got very tight, so we got to move it next year, and it actually worked out better.
I was just gonna say that it's like there's the first year, so they're experimenting. So,
and you will hear in the upcoming videos about some experiments with new cues. It's a work in progress. They like to play and see what works. They get reviews out of it. So.
Yep. All right. So we're on to our next house.
My second favorite original, Body Collectors Recollections, and here is the poster.
Yep. All right.
And that was the poster. The location for this one was Soundstage 24A. 24 is always usually used for 2 houses. The bio reads, the Body Collectors have returned, descending upon Shadybrook Asylum to collect the human parts they require. Screams echo through the hallways as a blizzard rages outside while sharpened blades swirl inside. This is one of the 2 houses that they did, where I mentioned before in the video, where they took 2 concepts, original concepts, and twisted them into one. So Shadybrook was the name of the asylum in Psychoscarapy, one of the original houses in 2003. It started in 2003, and then it came back in 2006 as Maximum Madness. This was Jack's house. And then in 2007, it took a turn and decided to go with a Christmas flair. Based on the movie Black Christmas, you go in and out of the neighborhood. Psychos have broken out for Christmas, and they're celebrating Christmas their own way. Creating body parts for ornaments on the tree, snowmen, baking human flesh for cookies, so... And then Body Collectors was a big hit in 2005 when it first came out. It was about a refinery that took bodies and either perfectly skin them, drain the blood out, rip their spines out, and there was not a speck of evidence of what happened to the bodies. They kept that place so clean after they were done with their work. And then they came back in 2008. We went into the era of Whitechapel, England. I think it's England. And this theme was different. They actually went back in time. It was called Collections of the Past.
Yep.
And it was actually based off the new movie that came out that year called Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. Because most of the house was set in the barber shop and all that. So they decided to take those 2 ideas and mash them all together in the middle of a blizzard. I remember walking in this house. It was very cool.
Yep.
Like the weather was cold. But it was weird because I never saw a blizzard that would require thunder and lightning. Because I remember walking through going, why? Like, that's so weird.
Yeah.
The one room that was really cool was you couldn't really see what was going on. You saw silhouettes of bodies being torn open, their arms being ripped off, their head being decapitated. But just the sounds of the knives going through flesh and people's bones and like flesh and like muscles and everything being ripped apart.
Yeah. The sound effects in this house was like one of my favorite parts.
I love the blood and gore sounds to HHN. I just wonder, how do they do this?
Yeah.
But this house also had a return of one of our favorite effects. It's been used in both versions in the past, and now this one. It's the spine girl. Girl lays on the table, and a body collector pulls her spine out, and everybody else standing around clapping. So it was kind of a cool little nod to the past houses. And actually, they used it. I forgot to say it. They added this effect in 2010's Howling Pass. It was one of the rooms. So this has been reused over and over and over again. And they do that. They use rooms that you remember. You're like, oh yeah, that was from that house, or oh yeah, that room. So it was a really good house. This is my second favorite original because I love Body Collectors and Psychoscarapy. That was a good house. I was shocked they didn't bring back the bathroom scene.
Yeah.
I was kind of half expecting to walk through that, and I'm like, no.
I feel the same way. I've missed Body Collectors a lot. So
it was a good one. I really enjoyed that one.
All right, we're on to one of my favorite IPs this year. Freddy versus Jason. Here is the poster first, and then we have a trailer for this one as well. So I'm gonna show you that. Alright, so that was the poster, and then right after it was the trailer for Freddy vs. Jason. Your next house, one of the IPs there, the location for it was Soundstage 24B.
Shared with Body Collectors.
Yes. And it says, from the cursed camp Crystal Lake to the nightmarish 1428 Elm Street, awake or asleep, you'll find yourself caught in the middle of this epic battle where the winner's reward is you. Of course, this one, like I said, it was one of my favorite IPs. Guys, it's classic horror characters. Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. Pretty much based off of the movie Freddy vs. Jason, which is a great film. I love the movie a lot.
I love it.
And it, you walked into the house. I do remember as soon as you walked out of the house, they would either change. Either one time it would be Freddy, and then other times it would be Jason
who wins.
Who wins.
And one of them would always carry the other person's head. So if Jason jumped out, he would have Freddy's head in his hand.
Yeah.
If Freddy jumped out, he'd have Jason's head in his hand.
Yeah.
So it was cool to go through and see who you were gonna get next.
And I remember waiting in line for this, actually, this house, and this is kind of messed up, but I don't know why people do this. My girlfriend was with me, and she noticed that these couple, before we were walking into the house, these parents were trying to get their little girl to go in, and she obviously didn't want to go in.
Yeah, the people like that.
And she's like, no, I don't want to go in there. She was scared out of her mind, crying and everything. And the guard for Universal had to walk up to the parents, and they were like, really? And they actually made them exit before they were able to go into the house. But like, I don't even know why people do that. But we saw that before we went in or whatever, and I was like, obviously she doesn't want to go.
And yeah, people still force them to go.
So, but I do remember that walking in. But the house was amazing.
It started up being Camp Crystal Lake,
Yep.
and then you go into 1428 Elm.
Yep.
And then just two worlds at the end just collide. You see like they used visual screens to show like Freddy and Jason fighting, and then of course at the end, behind a black curtain, you were wondering, okay, well, we just saw someone get sliced, so who's gonna step out? And it was either yeah or boo, you know, like whoever voted for whatever, whoever wanted to see whoever, but it was really cool. Most of the music in the house was from the score, the original score from the movie Freddy vs. Jason. If you haven't seen it, find it on Blu-ray or DVD and watch it.
It's really good.
Or watch it online. It's really good.
It's really good.
Everybody's hoping for a sequel of the movie.
Got your nose!
Dude, that scene, oh god, like I'm just sitting there going like this one, ow.
Yeah, that creeped me out too, but I mainly got, when I exited out of the house, I mainly got Jason every time.
I always got Freddy.
Who won, and he had Freddy's head.
I had Freddy.
And then every time I go in there, I'm like, does Freddy ever win? When you see the movie, there really is a twist at the ending of the movie.
There's original ending, there's the uncut,
you wonder who
unreleased ending, and then there's the ending that was in the movie.
Yeah, and you wonder at the end of the movie who wins. That's a surprise.
I don't think anybody wins because technically they're still alive.
Spoiler alert.
Oops.
All
right.
So yeah, that was your IP, Freddy vs. Jason. Now we're on to the next house.
The next house, another IP. This one was actually my second favorite IP.
Yep.
For the event, Insidious, and we have a poster for this, and we also have a teaser.
Yes.
So enjoy.
If you call out to one of the dead, all of them can hear you.
Hi, I'm Lee Winnell, writer and director of Insidious Chapter 3, and I'm very excited to announce that Insidious is coming to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando Resort and Universal Studios Hollywood. It's an all-new, terrifying experience that'll take you deeper into the realm of the supernatural. Insidious Chapter 3 is in theaters right now, but you can live it at Halloween Horror Nights.
All right.
And that was the poster and the little teaser trailer. The location of this one was tent number 2, Sprung Tent 2. And the bio says, enter the further and travel through all 3 parts of the Insidious saga. Denizens of the afterlife try to find their way back into the world using the living to guide them. The house isn't haunted. We are. This house had some crazy technology used that I've never seen, and I kid you not, this made me jump left and right in certain sequences, because I'd never seen the movie until during the event when I sat down and watched the first 2, because 3 actually was just coming out.
Yeah, they actually give you teasers in this house before you actually went and saw them.
You saw some characters from 3.
And you were like, what?
And now we have the 4th one, which is I think called The Last Key.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen it yet either. But this house, most of the music in the house was from the first 3 scores.
Yep.
Very terrifying, because mostly it's not even music really. It's more they have an instrument they use that actually imitates sound. So like they use like a gong and they rub it up against metal and it makes like a really creepy track. Although one music track in here is very well known back in the day. I'm sure you all heard of him. Tiny Tim's Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Played in the Devil's Room from the first movie, and when you listen to the song, you're thinking to yourself like, okay, this is creepy, but what the heck am I listening to? But it fit very well. What I loved, like Justin said, his favorite was the facade, and what was cool was, if you look at the facade, every so often, a light would turn on, light would turn off. Another light would turn on in another room, that would turn off. And then a red light would appear, and it's like, okay, that's evil. That goes out. Green light turns on. So it was like you're constantly looking at the facade to see if you see anything.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed this house. I mean, the room that got me, I think, the most was the black hallway where they had like rubber hands, and it felt like they were doing this to you as you were walking through, and it's like, ugh, don't touch me. Another creepy sequence in this room was the room where it was the underground church, and they were dressed up in they had the white sheets on, and some of them would literally like they'd be sitting like this, and all of a sudden, like they would go like this and rise up. And you're like, oh shoot, get me out of here, get me out of here. This house played with your senses, and it really got you. But what do you think? Like, what was your?
Yeah, I just like seeing that red door.
Yep, that's the main key. That's the main door.
And like every time I see that or whatever, I've had dreams about that. Like after I went into the house, and I'm just like, every time I see that, I'm just like, get me out of here.
I'm not going.
So it's a creepy series. If you sit down and watch it, you're just like,
it freaked me out.
Eventually, after you watch the whole series, you're like, where am I?
It's kind of like watching The Conjuring, because it was made by the same people that did Conjuring and
Annabelle.
Annabelle's now the new
Yeah.
Insidious, and now I think also they're looking to tie Insidious into Sinister.
Which is one of my favorites, actually.
Sinister's good. I would like to see a Sinister house.
Yes.
Like all Sinister. We've seen it. You'll see it in the upcoming houses, but
Yep.
I want to see a whole house devoted to Sinister. Or maybe we'll get our luck and we'll get Annabelle and Conjuring.
We'll see. But
That'd be great.
that was your announcement for Insidious for that house.
Good house.
Your next house for this year was The Purge. Here is a poster for that one, as well as a teaser trailer. Yay! Die.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing The Purge at Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights.
Halloween Horror Nights, here's the plan. Necessary provisions will arrive to allow my friends and I to release the beast, and more importantly, ensure that this year's Purge Night will be one to remember.
Alright, so there was your poster for The Purge, as well as your teaser trailer. And the location for this one was Sprung Tent number 1.
Yay!
This year's Purge is more brutal than ever. From the moment you step inside the house, dozens of vicious vigilantes will descend upon you as they exercise their right to purge.
This was a last-minute house. The original location for this, the original house that was supposed to go in here was Scream. But like I said before, when they had to tear it up. However, walking through this house, you did see remnants of what was Scream. There was a kitchen sequence where in Purge, they had a purger, the female purger, out the window with a machete.
Yeah.
Whereas that would have been the scene in Scream where she sees her boyfriend gutted on the porch.
Yeah.
And there was another room that simulated the theater from Scream 2, where she would kill the ex's mom, and that ended up. That was from The Purge, that was from Scream. And then the last room was the reporter's room from Scream 3, and of course that had to get changed.
Yep.
A lot of the music in this house was a mix of the score out front, as well as some jams from I think they put "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor" from random like random songs of like a Christian rock. But it was really, really, really cool. Nice cover up though with The Purge, because this was like a last minute thing that happened with Scream, so they were running around trying to find an idea, and someone said, just purge it. Let's just do Purge.
Yep.
But it's not anything from the movies. Most of the scenes in this house were actually created. So, because this Purge takes place, I forget where it is exactly, but it was a nice touch to have the Purger out front talking to guests, like interacting, like, oh, do you have your weapon for your Purge? Yeah, with that, what, your heel? No, that's not going to survive.
Yep.
No, you got to put a spike or something on the back of that if you want to really get the deep crevices. So he was out there, like, just bashing everybody. It was kind of funny.
It was cool.
And then every so often you hear the Purge announcement go off, which I think was specifically recorded for Universal Orlando, because it mentioned Universal Orlando, you've been warned, the Purge will commence. So it was kind of cool. So they kind of themed it the same way, and I don't know. I mean, I'm huge fan of the Purge films. I mean, there's another one I think coming out next year or something like that. I heard it's supposed to end the series.
I love the TV show. I want the TV show to come
I
out.
never sat down and watched TV show.
It was so good, dude.
I gotta watch it because I heard good
was
things.
good.
My cousin liked it.
It was so good. Me and Kara want it back.
But, yeah. But nice
Yep.
cover up. This was a good idea for a house. I mean, like I said, we see this as a scare zone, and later down the road, you'll see it again reappear as another scare zone.
Yep.
But we'll get to that in another video. And moving on, our next house is Run, Blood, Sweat, and Fears. And here is the poster to that one.
Alright.
And that was the poster. Originally, Run started its debut in 2001 with Eddie Schmidt. It was supposed to be Eddie's house, and Jack ended up coming back that year because of 9/11. They had to change the event, make it less bloody, less gory, and more oozy, like slimy and stuff like that. And then again, Run returned once again in my favorite version, 2006, Run Hostile Territory.
Yay.
It was based around the movie Hostel. But Eddie made an appearance in the house by scaring guests. He was in a room where he was washing off blood off the seats and stuff like that on the floor. And as people walked by, there was a plexiglass wall, and literally, like, he was dressed in like a water suit, like, because he was in like ankle or waist deep water spraying the blood off. And as guests were walking by, he'd take the hose and smash it up against the glass window and scare the hell out of everybody. But the location of this house, I want to say this was the last time that we saw Disaster used. Yes, because it closed after this.
Yeah.
I don't think that we had another house after this. I believe this was the last house that we saw. I could be wrong, but I do believe 100% that I'm right on that. Because that was the last run of Disaster.
Yep. Disaster Q.
AKA Earthquake. And the bio reads, you've just been selected as a contestant on Run, a brutal TV show where every day people are stalked by skilled assassins. Just remember, the more horrifying your death, the higher the ratings. This movie sounds like it took inspiration from Hostel. The more you pay to kill this person,
Yeah.
the higher the views. It also reminds me a little bit of Death Race, because they always put votes on who's gonna die next. But the show itself, or the house itself, was interesting because it used a lot of different like Asian people, like Asians with samurais or whatnot, and just different ways. They had the Blitzkrieg brothers with the electric. They would kill people using electricity, so it's kind of that goofy. And of course, I'm not gonna reveal the person's name. He's a good friend of mine. But if you're watching right now, this one's for you, brother. He was actually the host of the house. He played Mr. Strickland, who was the original Hellgate prison, the guy who ran the prison. He played his son. So, little nod out. And again, this is the second house that actually, like I mentioned before, with Body Collectors and Psychoscopy. This is the second house that took two past houses and twisted them together. They took Run from the 2001 Halloween Horror Nights, as well as 2004's Hellgate Prison. And they mashed it together and thought, hey, let's do a Run TV show in Hellgate Prison. So like all the inmates were from various continents around the world, and they all have their own way of torturing and killing people. And why not make a TV show out of it? So it was a funny yet gruesome concept. A lot of the music in here was very weird. Like it played like not another brick in the wall. There was a few Pink Floyd songs used, but each room had like its own specific choreographed piece that was kind of cool.
Yep.
But overall, the house was just outright. It was just outrageous. It was like all over the place. It was funny, but yet gory at the same time. It had a lot of blood because, of course, you're killing and slaughtering people just for sheer joy of it, just to be on TV.
It's in the title.
And even there's a backstory. Mr. Strickland's son mentioned that if you can redeem yourself and finish the TV show and still be alive, you are granted your freedom from prison. You will be let out of Hellgate Prison to relive a new life as a psychopath. As a psychopath killing people. But it was kind of cool. I really enjoyed it. What did you think of this one? Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do. It was okay. Not one of my favorites, but it was okay. I believe when you walked in this house, wasn't there a lot of sunlight during the day in this house?
Yeah, the issue with the houses in the earthquake disaster queue was it was only in a pavilion, so only above you was covered.
Yeah.
But during the daytime, you could pretty much see everything.
Yeah.
It was cool for the haunters who loved to see how things worked, but it kind of ruined it for a few people. But
I felt like
I would have put black fabric around the area, so it would have blocked out the light. That's just me, but
I feel like it did better during the nighttime than it did during the day. We went to this house during the day, and it just didn't do anything for us, and we just walked out and we're like, that wasn't scary. And then we did it again at night, and we're like, okay, not a bad run through for that time. So.
What was really cool about this house is there was one prop that everybody loved pointing out in the house. As soon as you entered the first room, when it said run, get ready, the run sign hung above the thing was the original sign from 2001's Run. And it showed up again in Run 2006, but it looked like it was shorting out, to give it like that old flickering effect. Whereas this one was redone perfectly clean. They repainted it. It looked so beautiful. The lights were brand new.
Yeah.
But I like the facade because it felt like you were entering a new high-tech prison. Yeah. Whereas the original Hellgate was an old rundown, kind of like Alcatraz or something like that. There's old prisons, but it was really, really, the facade was really something. But yeah, like he said, when it was during the daytime, if you wanted to see how the house worked, do it during the daytime. But at night, if you want the full effect, do it at night.
Yep.
But
all right,
we are gonna move on. We
are come to our last and ninth and final house for Halloween Horror Nights 25.
And your favorite?
And it's well, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It is my favorite television show of all time. Again, it's The Walking Dead.
For its 5th year in a row,
yes.
It survived.
And this one was called Walking Dead: The Living and the Dead. And here is your picture for this one, as well as a trailer.
Don't get bit.
Your turn. Alright, and that is the poster as well as the trailer for The Walking Dead, The Living and the Dead. Like he said, making its appearance? So fifth
year for Universal Orlando, and I think it was the 3rd year for Universal Hollywood.
Yeah, as you saw in the trailer, Hollywood shared this IP as with Orlando, so they both did Walking Dead that year. The location for this IP house was in the Parade Building B79. It was a very big house, I think.
It was probably.
It was so.
Nah, this wasn't the big. No, this wasn't the big one.
That wasn't. Yeah.
24 was the big one.
Yeah, I think this one was all the small.
And then next year, spoiler alert, it's the big one.
Yeah. You'll have a little surprise. So, The bio for this one reads, from the burnt ashes of Terminus through the flooded community food pantry basement and into the darkened churchyard, hordes of walkers surround you as you relive gut-wrenching moments of the most recent season. So I'm assuming that when they were like on their way to Terminus or whatever that season was, I believe, if I can remember correctly.
Right after Terminus.
Yeah. So
They just arrived at Terminus,
Yeah.
and this is where we
So
picked up.
I believe it had to be somewhere around season 4 and 5 or 5, somewhere in that range.
The entrance looked like Terminus, all blown up after Carol blew up the gas tank. Because they had the gas tank, they had a few charred walkers walking around.
Yeah.
And then you walk through, it was like Terminus. This was the first year that they actually used water tanks for the walkers, because it made it simulate you're walking through the basement where it was flooded. The food pantry, and they're actually standing in tubs of water spraying guests. And I remember walking through one night, one of my friends was in the house. I'm not going to mention his name, but thank you for this scare. This one really scared the hell out of me and my friends. I remember going through the night, I messaged him, I'm like, hey, I'm going to get ready to come to your house. He goes, give your stuff to your friends. I was like, what are you going to do? And he goes, let's just say that you're going to remember this scare.
For the rest of your life.
I gave my phone to my friend, and I had it on audio record. I'm like, just in case. I was like, I have this weird feeling. I know what's going to happen. Walk into that room, I turn my back for 2 seconds, and I end up underwater. For like 3 seconds, wondering what the heck is going on. And my friend obviously grabbed me, pulled me underwater. It was so funny. It was it had my friends rolling.
Yeah.
The house was interesting. It was a very it had the slit throat scene where what's his name was slitting the throats over the tub.
Yeah.
I think this is the one that had the burning. Is this the one that had the burning cabin? Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one that had the burning cabin. You walk through the burning cabin halfway through. It also had the no, it didn't have the golf club. I'm thinking of the next year.
Yeah. Yeah, that was that
What was
one.
the next year? Sorry, I got all my Walking Dead houses all mixed up.
They did
When
it
you do
many years.
over and over and over and over and over again. Everything becomes mashed up together.
Yeah, they did it.
But I just remember walking up to this house, and it sounds like a war zone. You had the gunshots going off, explosions going off. You had the walker sounds like, so you hear all that. But it was an interesting house. A different take on it. And like you said, season 4 or 5, somewhere between those, because I lost track of the episode.
It was somewhere between.
It was somewhere between the seasons, but yep.
It was good.
It was the 5th year.
Not bad.
Unfortunately, like the rest of the houses, it demised. But you'll find that out in the next season.
Yep. All right. So. Yep.
Film.
Anyways, that is all of your houses for Halloween Horror Nights 25. That's your lineup. Now we're going to move to the scare zones that you had to maneuver through the streets to get to the houses. I have Luke with your first scare zone.
The first scare zone, you approach entering the park. HHN icons. And here is the poster.
Now, please excuse the quality. We had to kind of redesign it, sort of, and blow it up so it kind of looks a little iffy.
A little pixelated, but
Yeah, but enjoy. All right.
And that was the logo for Icons, and the location was Hollywood. The eeriest icons and most cadaverous characters of the last 25 Halloween Horror Nights have returned. The caretaker, the storyteller, the director, the usher, and more are back to relive every monstrous memory. This zone played a lot of music from the past, Midnight Syndicate tracks, as well as
Great
other
zone.
things.
Great
But what
zone.
was really cool about this is they took a concept from 2007. No, 6. Sorry, 6. Where they resurrected the icons and they do their own deaths. Like they would kill someone using what they did. They brought it back. But this time we actually got to see the usher get a little stab in there. They had small stages set up where the icons would come out and perform their little skits. Like Usher would lure a annoying movie patron backstage to the ticket booth and smash his head in with a flashlight.
That's great
So-
stuff.
Storyteller had somebody tied up on the chair, on a rocking chair. She spun her tails and said, "For the next tale, I require your tongue," and took a pair of wire cutters and cut the guy's tongue out.
She wants to tell a story.
Director has his classic, had a female tied to the bathtub, and of course it's her last take, so he throws the switch on a electrical outlet and sparks flew. Let's just say that relationship ended pretty quick. And the last one was the caretaker in his classic mortuary scene. They set it up to make it look like his mortuary, where he would perform a living, breathing autopsy, where ripping the guy open and pulling his still beating heart, claiming this person has no heart. And it was really cool. It was kind of, I mean, you saw other icons walking through, like you saw Eddie, I think, make a small appearance. Cindy was walking up and down. Some of the movie theater usher patrons were walking around.
Yep.
It was mostly like some of the victims of the caretaker, like half of them were in body bags. That was kind of interesting to see. It was a weird, but like I said, it was a really nice throwback to the past. I mean,
That zone meant a lot. to me,
a
seeing
very,
that again.
yeah, it really brought back your memories. Like, oh, I love that character, something like that. And I liked it. I really liked that zone. It fit the street very well.
And these were all characters also created just like Jack from the creative team.
Yep.
So,
It started up as Jack. Caretaker was next. Caretaker came in 2002 at Islands of Fear.
yep.
The director was after that, which all the girls went completely gaga over because he's so cute.
See how cute he is.
Yeah, he's cute until he gets you in his films, and then your final take and you're done. He came out in 2003, and then Storyteller was 2005. She spun the tales of Terra Fuentes, a mystical realm somewhere in her story, which took place. And what's unique, there's only one icon that takes place in Universal Studios in this entire area. The Usher in 2009.
Yes.
All the other icons are actually from Islands of Adventure.
Yep.
So a little past thing. Usher came from 2009. Theater Usher, who hated patrons who disrespected his Palace Theater and would escort them out in the most gruesome ways by smashing their head in with a flashlight. So why not?
Tickets, please.
No, this is a good zone. No, I really enjoyed that one.
Yeah,
But, moving
All right.
on.
All right. Next scare zone is Evil Roots. Here is your wallpaper, please. And that was the poster for Evil Roots, and the location for this scare zone was in Central Park.
Always has good zones.
Yep. And it says for this bio, your darkest fears will take root amidst the perilous paths of Central Park as you face evil fairies, humanoid bats, scarecrows, and more horrors. Your thoughts on this one?
I really like this one. It paid tribute to Fear. Fear himself was actually, he wasn't technically in the zone, but there is a little lantern that reminded you that the 20 years was still following you.
Yeah.
Due to this anniversary, but I really enjoyed the zone. The music was weird. It was played from some like various albums I never heard of.
Yeah.
But I love the Central Park zones. They come in, they create some of the most craziest atmospheres.
And as you know, I didn't get to make Halloween Horror Nights 20, obviously, because of my ban. From my situation, so I don't really know too much about Halloween Horror Nights 20. I lean on this guy to tell me.
And they brought back the pumpkins.
That was cool. But it was kind of
return.
cool seeing something from that, that year that I didn't get to experience, and walk through it and kind of see what
It's
Luke was
really
saying.
neat. Yeah, it's really cool.
All right, so on to our next scare zone. You got this one, sir?
Scary Tales, Scream Punk. And here is the poster.
Alright.
And that was the poster for that one. The location for this one was Plaza of the Stars, aka Production Central.
Yay.
Classic fairy tale characters get a sinister, scary tale twist immersed in the wicked world of steampunk. This was an interesting take on this zone because we've done Scary Tales as a house for 3 years. We've done it. It came out in 2000 with Jack the Clown.
I never made it to that year.
It came out in 2002 with The Caretaker.
Just missed that year.
And then the last one that I got to see was 2008, the year of Bloody Mary, which was the first year that we used the parade building, the old parade building, as a location. So it was really good. This one was cool. The makeup was neat because it gave like Pinocchio like half metal, half wood, and they would sacrifice certain fairy tales by putting them in a large wooden grinder that would spit out the blood that writes the ink on the pages to make it. And there's like projections of like the book. Most of the music in it was steampunk, gothic steampunk. It was interesting. It was a very interesting take on it, and I love Scary Tales, so this really threw it over the edge for me.
Yeah, it was not bad,
but
that was okay.
All right.
The
next one.
Oh, my favorite. Moving on to
one of my favorites.
The next scare zone. Psycho Scarapy Unleashed. Here is the poster. Alright, so that was your poster for that Sierra Zone, and location. Location for this one is New York, which is a big location.
It is.
The criminally insane inmates of Shadybrook Asylum have escaped and stumbled upon a Halloween block party in the streets of New York. They quickly decide they'd kill for some costumes of their own.
This zone was really neat. It took up a lot of space. My favorite prop in the zone was the burning gazebo. They had it set up in an area. It was safe. They had it blocked off so you couldn't get close to it, like too close. It looked like a gazebo that was burning down. Every so often you would see a large fireball blow up to ignite it. They also had a costume contest where the psychos would dress up in human bodies and see who has the best costume. I had a lot of friends in this zone, so that kind of made it more fun. The music in here was like mostly like Monster Mash, the Purple People Eater, and all the crazy old style Halloween classics. Oingo Boingo's Dead Man's Party. So it kind of really threw you into that thing. The signage was cool. They even had stuff in the windows to look like something was called like psychos were attacking people. So it kind of fit the area very well. It was one of those funny comedic zones because Psycho Scarapy a lot of times it can be scary but can also be comedic, and this was one of the comedic takes that they did. Unlike the Scary Tale Psycho Scarapy from 2007, which was a funny Christmas take on it. This is a funny Halloween party take on it, and they ran with it. And I think this zone, no, they didn't get Zone of the Year. It was Evil's Roots. Evil's Roots won.
Yep.
But they were close. They were so close behind them.
Who won our House of the Year?
House of the Year that year was Monsters of Mayhem. They went to Monsters. What was cool about this zone is there was a lot of different things like you would see at Halloween, like block party bashes, like the costume party, the gazebo, the bobbing for apples, where instead this Sunday it's bobbing for heads. Pumpkin carving. Pumpkin carving where they had like blood coming out of the pumpkins. It was just like little funny things that would make you laugh and like really twist it in a way where you're like, okay, this is really good. But no. And then we are going to move on to the last zone, which is, believe it or not, my second favorite in this year. I really enjoyed this one. All Night Die In, double feature, and here is the artwork for it.
right.
That was the poster for that one. The location was San Francisco. The Cary Drive-In Theater has been closed for decades after grisly murders during a double feature. Its lights, camera, carnage, as the theater nicknamed Die-In by the locals, lives up to its name.
Yes, and there is a reason why half the wallpaper's in color and half the wallpaper's in black and white. I'll leave it to Luke.
This was the first time I've seen a Scare Zone do this, where they had two separate casts.
Pretty cool.
The first cast would be the black and white original classics.
Yes.
Frankenstein, Psycho, Dracula, and all that.
Bride of Frankenstein.
And what was neat was each one had a specific loop that would play. So like you hear like the old thunder sounds, the wolf howl, some of the audio tracks, and then about the next set, whenever the next set would come in about 45 minutes or so, it would completely change. And then you have the modern day horrors. You got Chucky, Tiffany, Jason, Freddy. They had everybody, and then the music again would follow with whatever was out there. The thunder became less of Castle Thunder, more in modern day, and you'd also see like various clips up on the screen, so it's kind of cool. I really enjoyed this, and this is why I enjoyed it, because of the two different sets that intersected off and on. It was really neat.
Yeah, I want to say this was my second favorite as well, after Icons as well.
And the characters had to come out immediately. It wasn't like a long space between switches, because as soon as that set ended, they had, I think, 20 seconds to get the next set out, because the music loop would automatically, the audio track would switch over.
The lights, everything.
The lighting changed, so like most of the black and white, it made it feel like it was like a gray flickering, like,
yeah, it was
like
cool.
an old flickering screen. Even the sound what was really cool was the projector that projects on the wall.
Yeah.
Even the sound effect of the projector changed. So like the old Super 8s that would have that whereas the new ones are more like a so like it would hear more.
Yeah.
It'd be more clear. It was really, really cool. There's a lot of good themes played. I heard Saw, Jaws was used. They played the Jaws theme. The black and white classics were good though. They played like Nosferatu and all the crazy old creepy stuff. No, that's what we loved about the Zone, is the fact that I'd never seen it switch off and on. That was another new milestone that they did.
Yeah.
But very good job.
Hopefully they bring that back again. That was cool.
That would be in a new form. I would like to see it.
All right, that is all your Scare Zones for Halloween Horror Nights 25.
Yeah.
And now we're into some shows here. We had 2 shows that year. Both shows were absolutely amazing.
Yep.
And your first show was Bill and Ted's Excellent Halloween Adventure. Here's the wallpaper that's pretty much the same every year. So check it out.
Excellent.
Totally. All right, and the that was your wallpaper for that one, and same as always. And location is always in Fear Factor stage for this show every year. Party On as those dudes return to skewer the biggest names in politics, shows, business, and pop culture. So they basically discuss what happened throughout the year. Totally made fun of it, and it was amazing. And I said,
It was a little short. It was a lot shorter than the usual shows. Usually they run about 45 minutes to an hour. This one was just a little over, a little under 40 minutes.
But always a good show. It was really good. All right, and he's got the last show, and probably my most favorite show of all time.
Same. The Carnage returns.
Yes.
And here is the.
Yes. I also, with the poster as well, have the complete show that I want to show you guys, because this show, I believe, is what made this event. It's like a heart of the event.
It is.
It was absolutely amazing, and I haven't seen a show that's took its place over it. It's just absolutely amazing.
It continues the show from
Yes.
2007.
So here is the poster first, and then
we'll talk about it, and then
yeah.
we'll do the video.
Yep.
We'll let you guys experience it.
Yep. So here we go. And that was the poster for the event.
The location was Hollywood Stage.
Yep.
Jack the Clown is taking Halloween Horror Nights back in a blaze of murderous mayhem with his army of feared followers and his companion in carnage, Chance. Remember, Jack always has the last laugh. As I said before, the original show was in 2007. He captured the group of High School Musical and ended up killing them in the gruesome ways. Well, one of the people ends up escaping from the original show. And he, in a mini-series, which we can't find, I can't find it anymore, it was on YouTube, he stalks Amanda and finally finds out where she is.
Yep.
And captures her and her current boyfriend.
Yep.
And then they end up going back for another show.
Yep.
So it was really cool. This one had a lot more ad-libbing. The original one was scripted mostly, but this one is more ad-libbing because every night they'd say some new stuff, and they actually interacted with the audience.
Yeah.
There's a part where Jack had the camera and he was showing the audience and saying, "Oh, look at that guy in the stroller. Yeah, someone needs to get him another alcohol. He's a little like just messing with people."
Yeah.
I think Chance had a bigger role in this one, but she was the main one to attack. Well, Jack captures Amanda.
Yeah.
But Chance gets the boyfriend.
Yep.
Who is ended up dying in the show,
Yep.
along with a few others.
But the best part is, we're not gonna say no more. You guys get to experience the whole entire show right here. Enjoy.
Good luck.
Well, they encourage your complete cooperation. Send your roses when they think you need to smile. I can't control myself because I don't know how. When they love me for it, honestly, I'll be here for a while. So give the blood, gallons of the stuff. Give them all that they can drink and it will never be enough. So give them blood. Grab a glass because there's going to be a blood. A celebrated man amongst the girlies. They convince me proper with a bit of luck. The doctors and the nurses, they adore me so, but it's really quite alarming, cause I'm such an awful
Ladies and gentlemen, during the show, you will see skin, fire, blood, and guts. And if you don't like it, leave!
Let me see your blood.
During the show, there will be foul language that some may find objectionable. People are going to die! You're going to love it. Take all the pictures you want. It won't help them. Foul language is on here twice.
Come on!
What are you doing? No! Please let me go. Please let me go. Thank you and enjoy the show. No, I did what you and the crazy clown wanted. Let me go, you psycho. Where are you? What is your face? For those of you who don't know Jack, you're in for a real treat. Tonight, we celebrate the kill. Tonight, we find out which one of you has what it takes to be one of my maniacs! And we're gonna punish those that don't make the cut. Now I can see that I have been gone for far too long. Horror Nights has gone soft. You've all lost your taste for blood and mayhem. You forgot that I am the thing that goes bump in the night. I am the boogeyman. I am Horror Nights. And I'm back. I'm back to show you pain. I'm back to show you blood. If you want blood, yo, hell yeah, Jack. Hell yeah, Jack. You want gore? Yo, hell yeah, Jack. Hell yeah, Jack. You want me? Everyone, hell yeah, Jack. Hell yeah, Jack. Welcome, my strumpet of screams, my mistress of mayhem, my harlequin of horror, your one and only Chance. Everyone say hello, Chance.
Hello, Chance.
Chancey, before we begin our little show, I'm afraid we're gonna have to make a few cuts.
Okay.
On with the show. You ready, kids? Yo, hell yeah, Jack.
Hell yeah, Jack.
gentlemen, and that little shit in a stroller, we give you the big wheel of chance! Well, this is our unwilling participant, Amanda. Who are you expecting, Lady Luck? Everyone say, hello, Amanda.
Hello, Amanda.
Give her a hand.
Whatever you say, Jack. Thanks, Amanda.
Now, we met Amanda while she was on her honeymoon. And even though you didn't invite us to the wedding, we got together to get you and your husband something very special. Yeah. His and her matching coffins.
Relax, Amanda. Only clowning around.
You know, my little newlyweds, marriage really is like a 3-ring circus. First is the engagement ring, then the wedding ring, then the suffering. And let's see what's on the big wheel of chance today, kids. We'll start right over here with the Dirtier Sanchez. In Spanish, the Dirtier Sanchez. And down here, the Michael Bublé. In Spanish, the Michael Bublé. And my favorite, the Big Ass Saw. In Spanish, La Grande Sierra de Culo. Is that right? Who gives a caca? Hey pal, pay attention. One of these is gonna seal your fate. Chance!
Yeah?
Let's make it happen.
Amanda! You're mad at me, aren't you? But I want us to be best friends. See, my name is Chance, and it's so nice to meet you. Do you like jokes? Well, you'll like this one. What's funny about a knife? Nothing.
Yes! Oh, come on! The easy way out. Really? I really wanted to kill this dude, but look at it's your lucky night. Come on, pal. Ah, get over here. Listen, you better take this as an opportunity to get out there and get some help. You know, maybe, just maybe you can save your wife, huh? Let me be your usher and show you the easy way out is right that way.
What?
You better run. Don't even think about it, chump.
Wait for it.
Wait, stop! Ta-da! It's an oldie but a goodie. You know, Amanda, your husband just looks a little out of place. He doesn't quite blend in. You want blood? Yeah, hell yeah, Jack! Hell yeah, Jack! East is east and west is west. But my good friend, the caretaker, said it best. Eeny, meeny, miny, screw it. Amanda, can you see all right? I'm in your way.
Just kick it! Well, that was easy. What can I say, kids? It's an art. Or in this case, a Cuisinart. Oh, come on, kids. These are the jokes. Listen, if you're going to be one of my maniacs, I have to hear a maniacal laugh. So let me hear you. Come on. Yeah. Who do we have in the audience tonight? Oh. Get this guy up on the screen. You know I can be a director, too. Look at this guy. I thought you weren't allowed to wear masks in the park. Did we have a kid at one point in our life? And look at these guys. It's all the people from Walmart. Hey, let's try a maniacal laugh on Amanda. Amanda's a widower. Or widow. She lost her hubby. And basically, she should cheer up. Because now she can use the single rider line maniacal laugh! Okay, Jack, he's pretty good.
Ooh, yeah.
I think I want to give him a present.
A present?
You want a present from me, don't you? What about you maniacs? You want a present? Yeah, you do. Go get him. Now, this one I even gift wrapped for you. And I found him in his mommy's basement. Ta-da!
Look, everyone, me and Chance seek out you all an internet troll for me to kill. Come here, internet troll. You smell like Doritos and Mountain Dew. Hold still. Now, we killed his imaginary girlfriend earlier. But I want you to know, your opinions and your life don't mean jack! I'm gonna call you Richard. Dick for short, so everybody say hello, Dick Troll!
Hello, Dick Troll! Ah, wait up, sweetie! Don't worry, we're gonna kill you real soon!
Hold still.
Amanda! Since we're best friends, I have a confession. I'm not really a trained professional.
Yeah, no shit!
Tisk, Amanda! It's not very polite to curse at a lady!
Yes! Someone's not posting in the forums tomorrow because it's everybody's favorite game. Whack a troll! Maniacal laugh! Get his ass off stage. What the hell was that?
Yeah!
But back to you, my little dick in a box. Are you ready to help us celebrate the kill, Dick Troll? Hell yeah, Jack. I can't wait to have my head on the outside of my head. We're gonna take your brain right out. You sit still, my little puppet. Soon you're gonna be puppet dying. We'll do the rest. Chansey.
Yeah?
Ladies first.
Oh. No.
Come on.
No. Oh, maybe. Definitely not.
I say yes. Yes.
Hey, you took my turn, Jack.
I did, and I'll take more than that from you if you don't watch your step.
Oh, okay, Puddin'. What should I put my hands on then?
The bat.
Oh.
The bat. No! The one with the nails in it.
Yeah! Oop, let's see. Who's on first? What's on second?
What about the short stuff?
I don't give a damn!
Oh! Let's see what we have. Nope, no damage. Looks the same, really.
Poor troll. He seems to have lost.
Ooh, Ken. Oh.
Head!
Yes! 25 years, kids. A toast. Raise your blinky glasses high in the sky. Bonus points if you're drinking a Bloody Mary.
The shit? Oh no, oh dear Amanda, you're still alive. Get out of here. Chance.
Please let me go. Please let me go. Shush. You don't get to talk, bitch.
What should we do with Amanda? Wait a minute. We have a whole bunch of acts we could do. How about the old Robosaurus? No, the Time Warp.
Again? No. Oh, what about the Pinewood Derby?
Pinewood Derby.
Yeah.
Yeah, but where are we gonna get Justin Bieber, a weed whacker, and fire ants at this time of night?
Oh, yeah.
I know, Amanda. Why don't we just kill ya?
Wait for it! Hey, Amanda, stick around.
Oh, one final kill. You all want blood, maniacs? Yo, hell yeah, Jack!
Hell yeah, Jack!
Last and certainly least, our friend Philip. Say hello, Phil.
Hello, Phil.
Yeah, we met Phil in line with Amanda and her husband at Twister.
What are the chances?
Yeah, you know what, Twister, really, pal? But since you like things slow and painful, I got something just for you. You want to kill that chump? Yeah, hell yeah, Jack!
Hell yeah, Jack!
Chance.
Yeah?
It's time.
Now, Amanda, there was this one time when... Amanda! Honey, look at me when I'm talking to you! That's very rude, Amanda! Hello! Why aren't you talking to me? Why are you ignoring me? Amanda! Oh, I get it. She's dead. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we now present to you LeGrand screw it, the Big Ass Song!
Yeah! Maniacs! You want blood? Yo, hell yeah, Jack!
Hell yeah, Jack!
Come to Papa! Tiny, let her rip!
Hey, Philip, honey, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is really gonna hurt.
Now, kids, the Big Ass Saw is an old family heirloom. Picture a more innocent time when a little Jack Schmidt and Eddie Schmidt would go around the neighborhood and find innocent victims and saw the shit out of them. You want blood? Let me hear ya! Blood! 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 Blood!
It's coming!
Blood! Blood! Blood!
Wait for it! Oh, he's a bleeder!
Clean up on old Phil. Chance!
Yeah?
I forgot to tell Phil to keep all arms and legs inside the ride vehicle at all times! Maniacal laugh! Let me hear you, kids! Let chaos rule! This, kids, this is the Dark Math Test. You like what you see? Yo, hell yeah, Jack! Hell yeah, Jack! This is how we celebrate the kill. This is the Carnival of Carnage! Now, get the hell out!
And we're back.
So we hope you guys enjoyed that show.
That was a good one.
It is by far one of my favorite shows, as you can tell and see, that they've ever created. So,
sorry.
Really?
I'm
not editing that out.
I don't care. No, it was a really good show. Because I remember the 2007 version, but the 2015 version was a lot more gruesome and everything like that.
Yeah.
But the jokes every night used to change, so Chance would say something different, or Jack would make fun of something different.
And the final show was even worse than all of them combined.
So, because everybody knew the lines to the show, like people would yell out the lines before the actors do it.
Yeah.
And then the actors would completely turn heel and say something completely different that would throw the audience off.
Yeah. And the last show, they can technically do anything they want because it's the last show.
Yeah, they got away with a lot.
But as you saw at the beginning of that show, if you do have any kids or any young ones, please pay attention to that. There's
strong language.
There's strong language.
Blood, there's gore.
There's graphic content in it. So
hot girls.
Yeah. So if you do not want anybody seeing that stuff, that's why that is in place. If you don't care, watch it. Alright, so we have now the media event that took place.
This takes place before the event opens to guests. The media is for anybody who runs a media content.
Yeah, so
that got invited.
So you got like people like Tim Tracker, View from the Cheap Sheets, Kaylee Kill, a lot of the YouTubers who have the media rights get to go to this event. Unfortunately, we do not. So the only way we see it is from YouTube or anything else once they put out videos for the event. But here is the media event for Halloween Horror Nights 25 that year. Enjoy.
Good luck.
It has been far too long. Who are you expecting, Lady Luck? Now, for those of you who don't know Jack, you will. And for those of you who do, you will follow my maniacs of misfortune. You will follow my misfits, my cult of misfits. I'm telling you, children, a reckoning is at hand. And it is brought to you by me, the Clown Prince of Blood. Oh, my maniacs. I have assembled a rogues gallery of monsters and maniacs, past and present. I'm talking about slashers and walkers, insidious souls, oh, reaping assassins, body collectors, and my favorite, chainsaw maniacs. My maniacs! I guarantee that this horrific little trip down the rabbit hole is only going to bring you sorrow and bloodshed. Two of my other favorite things. Now, are you all ready to release the beast? Are you ready to howl at the moon? Are you ready to rip the throat of Horror Nights right out of its neck? If you are, say yes.
Yes!
Come on! Maniacs! Let me hear you scream. Scream! Halloween ain't pumpkin lattes. It's Halloween Horror Nights! Scream for me one more time, maniacs! Cause death is back! You're welcome. Yeah!
Alright, so that was the opening of Jack the Clown for Halloween Horror Nights 25 at the media event.
The next video we have is what happens when the gates open. What do we do to open the gates and let you in?
Yep.
You are about to find out.
This is the opening ceremony for Halloween Horror Nights 25. Please enjoy. It was the best copy I could find, so...
yeah, it's hard to tell what Jack says, but if you listen hard enough, you might be able to make it out.
But you get the effect of it.
But you will see all of his maniacs.
Peace.
Good luck.
All right, so that was the opening ceremony that you got to witness before you got through the gates. If you did not do the stay in Scream. You did stay in Scream. Depending on the location you stayed in Scream,
you lose.
Yeah, correct. You do lose, and you do not get to see the ceremony.
Yeah.
So, but that was the opening ceremony, is what they usually call it. So
They
now
have it
we
every
have, now we have the Scare Actor Dining picture of Scare Actor Dining. It's basically an event where you can basically come and basically you pay a certain fee for it.
They have specialty food. You meet you meet the characters, like some of the people the characters that you'll see around the streets. They stop and get photos.
Yep. And they come in while you're eating,
and what a better place to have it than Monsters Cafe, Universal Classic Monsters Cafe.
So here's just a quick picture of that, and we'll return to it. All right.
So that was the dining experience. Just a brief photo. We didn't have any video that we shot that year.
But the food's good. If you ever get to do it or whatever, they usually do it every Halloween Horror Nights. I think it's a fee of like $50.
That was back then.
Per person. Actually, I looked on the website for this year, and it's only like $50 still, believe it or not. So it's like $50 a person. So you and another guest, it'd be like $100 for you both to go and eat, experience all the characters around you, and it's a fun event from what I've heard. I'm gonna try it this year. So yeah.
Alright, a little surprise we have up here. We found the actual radio advertisement that played over the radio systems.
Yes.
Whether you listen to it in your car, you're in the garage.
Yep.
But this is actually the radio ad audio track. The photo in the background is just there so you can hear the audio because, of course, you can't upload it with just audio because there's no fun.
Yep.
But enjoy the radio ad.
Would you rather be ripped to pieces by Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, enter the further and face an insidious demon, or be catch of the day for a horde of hungry walkers? What's that you say? All of the above? Well, lucky for you, I'm a giver.
Jack returns to celebrate 25 years of carnage at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. Face Freddy vs. Jason, the Insidious Saga, and AMC's The Walking Dead. With 9 spine-tingling houses, 5 horrifying scare zones, outrageous live shows, and more. Florida residents save up to $52 on select nights from September 18th to November 1st. Visit HalloweenHorrorNights.com for complete details. Offer ends 11/1/15. Advance purchase required. Restrictions apply. This event is not recommended for children under 13.
Alright, so that was the radio ad with a cool looking wallpaper by it. Shows you all the houses and stuff that you would hear in the car, like you said, in the garage, wherever you were.
Wherever you were listening to on a radio, you can hear it.
So
the next surprise that we have for you is the television commercial.
Very big treat.
The difference with this one is in the original version, which we cannot find, Ghostface from Scream was originally a part of the trailer, but when they edited everything and they lost the IP rights, they cut it from the film.
Yep.
So that's why the cut, you'll see the various cuts. So enjoy the original trailer to the television commercial.
For Halloween Horror Nights 25.
Goodbye.
What he said. Alright, so we hope you enjoyed the commercial for Halloween Horror Nights 25.
It was a good one.
Like you said, around the part where Jason, you saw Jason or whatever.
They showed another, from what I heard, the original trailer had Ghostface twiddling with a knife, but
it was cut.
The next surprise we have for you is the official park map. This shows all locations where they were.
The haunted houses, the scare zones.
It's pretty good. It was a big size, but
yep.
There it is.
Yeah. Alright, so there was your park map, showed you all the haunted houses and scare zones and the shows and all the information you needed. The tribute store was, you get your merchandise. Very first time ever.
It was a cool store.
Pretty cool. Now we have a video for you guys to share with you how the guests felt about Halloween Horror Nights that year. I don't know why they wouldn't like it. It's the best year of all time.
If you don't like it, in the words of Jack, if you don't like it, then get the hell out. So here's the video for that.
You know what's funny about a knife?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right, here is what guests thought about the event.
Halloween Horror Nights 25 is amazing.
All the scares all around, from every corner that gets you. Halloween Horror Nights is terrifying.
Don't come by yourself.
My favorite Halloween house is Freddy vs. Jason. It scares the living bejesus out of me. Freddy vs. Jason house is very well put together. The costumes are great. The house is great.
Very extreme and very scary.
My favorite house has been The Walking Dead. We love the series, so we love that it ties in together.
American Werewolf in London.
That's our favorite house.
Jack the Clown is your worst possible nightmare.
No one's ever ready for Jack. I am Horror Nights!
Ladies and gentlemen, please, would you bring your attention to me? To see
Halloween Horror Nights is the biggest, most immersive Halloween event in the country, if not the entire world.
Halloween Horror Nights 25 is amazing.
And Freddy vs. Jason, I pooped my pants twice.
Very extreme and very scary. It's awesome. It's my first time here and it's incredible.
Alright guys, so that's what guests thought about Halloween Horror Nights 25.
Yeah.
Our favorite event that they've ever
Thus
done.
far.
Yes.
Let's see what 30 gives us this year.
We'll see what they bring us next year, next anniversary. And with that in mind, we're going to close it out. And I know.
Don't worry, we'll be getting ready to do the next one soon.
See you guys back here for Halloween Horror Nights 26 and a certain icon that will reappear. So with that in mind, I leave you with this recap of Halloween Horror Nights 25. Peace, guys. We're out.
Later, guys.
Enjoy.
and the year after, and the year after that.